Look
I've been waiting for someone like you. I've been waiting. Can't believe I finally found you. Could you be the one I need? You're my obsession. You're my obsession. Yeah.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Thank you as well so much during the pre-stream there to Luke _ RBLX. Thank you so much for following the stream. Greatly appreciated there, my mate. Tonight it is live football here at the Tameside Stadium between Curzon Ashton and Brackley Town. And when I say that this game has premiership winning implications for it, I am not being hyperbolic in the slightest. I hope everyone that is tuning into the stream tonight is doing well, has had a good Tuesday, and is happy and healthy as well as their families. So, going over the team news tonight, and first off for the home side, Curzon Ashton, Adam Lakeland, after the 3-0 loss here on Saturday against Spennymoor, called on his fans to support the club through the good and the bad, especially in towards the run-in for the last games of the season. In response to that loss, which made it 5 without a win for Curzon Ashton, there are 3 changes that were made to the 11 that started here on Saturday afternoon. One of those changes is the return of Marcus Posher. He's back in the side after having his child being born, and again, congratulations to Posh for the birth of his young child. So Chris Renshaw starts in goal as always. Marcus Posher, Adam Thomas, Tom Pearce, Conan DeMaio gets a start. Scott Wilson, Jordan Richards, Craig Mann wears the armband, Adam Barton. It is a return from injury for Connor Teal. Remember that he picked up that rib injury all the way back against Bradford Park Avenue, the last time, incidentally, that Curzon Ashton actually won in the National League North. He was named on the bench recently, but didn't feature. Now he's got the chance to play out the full 90. Joseph Nolan as well rounds off the 11. On the bench then, it is a return to the substitutes bench for Dale Witham. Jordan Lassie and Luke Marriott are the 2 that make way onto the bench out of the starting 11 from on Saturday, and then Craig Hobson and Paul Cooper join them on the bench. So it is no Matthew Challoner, no Young Johnson, and it is no Alex Curran for Curzon Ashton. Well, for Brackley Town, they've hardly put a foot wrong so far this season. Kevin Wilkin, the winner of the National League North Manager of the Month for his efforts in March. A side that have been unbeaten since February, and their last loss being all the way back on the 5th of February away to Gloucester, 1-0. An unchanged side then across the starting 11 and the substitutes bench being named after a successful massive 6-pointer trip when they went to play Gateshead at home on Saturday. So it is Danny Lewis standing in between the sticks. It's Jordan Richards again. It's not our Jordan Richards, but will certainly be an interesting clash of names. Connor Franklin, Shep Murrumbedzi, Luis Lamas, Gareth Dean wears the captain's armband, Matt Lowe, James Armson, the National League North Team of the Week featuring midfielder who scored the only goal in last Saturday's win for the visitors. It's then Lee and Lovu, Wes York and Glenn Walker that round off the starting lineup. On the substitutes bench is Ellis Miles, Janai Gordon, Alex Prosser, Twak Youssef and Fabio Lopez. So as I said earlier on in the coverage, any result here for Brackley Town will take them over and leapfrogging Gateshead in first place. This is their game in hand over Gateshead, and of course after winning the vital 6-pointer for their automatic promotion, and indeed possibly even their title-winning ambitions last week on Saturday, they will certainly be looking to take advantage of a wounded Curzon Ashton, I think it's fair to say, that are looking to try and snap this 5-game winless streak. Come on then, Ash, says NT. We certainly hope that they are ones to spoil the party here for Brackley Town. So it has certainly been a bit of a patchwork job over the past month for Curzon Ashton. They're a side that have conceded 14 goals in their past 5 games and have only scored 1. That one, of course, coming by the feet of Tom Pearce. Big shout there from Luke, hearing that obviously Curzon needs to win to keep Gateshead top. I mean, if the form is anything to go off, Luke, then I'm afraid that tonight might not be easy listening for yourself and the Gateshead faithful tonight. But anything can happen in a game of football. Of course, the return of Marcus Potter and Connor Teal at the back will both certainly be very, very welcome changes for Adam Lakeland, who has had to make do in the back. Of course, Luke Mariette playing in right wing back in Saturday's game, which credit to him, he certainly gave himself a good account for himself. But it wasn't enough to see a result through. Games, of course, are happening all around the National League North, as they traditionally are on a Tuesday night. So the remaining 5 games in the league are as follows this evening. It is Chorley Town. They are hosting Curzon Ashton's next opponents, Boston United. Farsley Celtic, they take on Guiseley. York City, the next opponents for Brackley Town. They travel to Kettering. Kidderminster Harriers, they host Alfreton. And then Spennymoor Town host Bradford Park Avenue, the last team to fall to defeat at the hands of Curzon Ashton. Of course, also tonight we have Champions League quarter-final action. The first 2 quarter-finals, Benfica and Liverpool, and Manchester City hosting Atletico Madrid at the Etihad Stadium. Those 2 ties kick off at 8 o'clock tonight. So it's certainly going to be an interesting watch here as the skies darken over. The stands start to fill in here around the Tameside. We are just 4 minutes away from the scheduled kick-off time of 7:45. It is certainly going to be a difficult task in this run-up of fixtures. Just 9 games to go for Curzon Ashton. And what did look at the start of last month, heading in towards the back of February even, as a possible push for playoff football, is now looking like that it's going to be trying to salvage the scraps and salvage a return of National League North football next season. So of course it's interesting actually that the last time that I actually put these notes together live here on Twitch on this very stream channel was around this time last month. Of course, you may recall that Curzon Ashton were due to face Brackley Town here at the Tameside Stadium, but was postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. This is of course the make-up game. And prior to that, obviously, goal difference was a really, really big part. There is currently an 11 goal difference that separates Gateshead and Brackley Town. But of course, a draw or a win here tonight, and goal difference gets thrown out the window because they will rocket straight to the top of the National League North. The last meeting between these 2 teams was all the way back on the 20th of November. It was a 0-0 draw that day away at Brackley Town, and I think both teams realistically will be content with results with a result like that if history was to repeat itself here tonight. There is plenty of quality here in this side. James Armstrong, obviously we mentioned earlier, the man who featured in the National League North Team of the Week over the weekend. Former Nuneaton man has also got a BT Sport showing hat-trick to his name against Gillingham in the FA Cup. It is appearance number 30 for him tonight as the 2 teams make their way out onto the ground. Your referee for tonight as well is Michael Crasham, and the 2 linesmen are Lewis Griffiths and Anthony Ball. So Curzon Ashton are wearing the all blue and Brackley are wearing the red with white shorts as they part ways from the team lineup photo and take their final positions and final warm-ups and see what happens here. I'll try not to show my colours or my allegiances too much, Luke. I'll try and keep it as neutral as possible, but I think given the current run of form that Curzon have been on, I think that I might have needed to put a headphone warning on the stream, perhaps. It is definitely going to be a very, very difficult test here for Curzon Ashton. Of course, a reminder that the next 2 fixtures for Curzon Ashton will not be being broadcast here on twitch.tv/BenFits Live, as I am jetting off to the United States. ECB! Hello, mate! mate? It's been a while. It's been a while. I hope that you're well. I hope that you are well. Hopefully, we're going to say that it's a goal for Tom Pearce. Although I might have to bring out the I don't know, Jeff. There's been a goal, has there?
Officials for tonight's game. Our referee, Michael.
So, Curzon Ashton are going to be kicking from right to left at my commentary position, and Brackley Town are going to be kicking from left to right. The toss has been taken, and we are just moments away from finding out who is going to walk away the happier from the Tameside Stadium. It's all to play for here tonight for Brackley Town. And for Curzon Ashton, they will certainly just be wanting to get this monkey off of their back and put the albatross around their neck to rest finally. As it looks like that Curzon Ashton are going to be the ones to kick us off first. Final checks from our referee, Michael Crusher. Check of the watch. Whistle is blown and we are underway here at the Tameside Stadium. Curzon Ashton versus Brackley Town as the ball is launched forward by Craig Mann and is sent now in the attacking half for Brackley Town in Ndlovu. But is there trying to chase, but it's going to be Nolan on the far side to see it out for the game's first throw in tonight, which is taken quickly. And his first involvement here for Posher, who's in his first game back since his young child was born over the weekend. High ball from the goalkeeper Renshaw, sent to the near side of the ground, and it's gone out for a throw in that's judged to have gone to Curzon Ashton, which is taken quickly to the feet of Pearce. Nolan's got a little bit of space in the middle of the park as he uses him now. DeMaio is in front of him. He's just trying to look for space. There's a lot of numbers back behind the ball here for Brackley Town. On the far side of the ground now, here's Jordan Richards. Swung into the box. It doesn't clear the first man there in Walker. Comes out though for Mann, and then it's intercepted, and now Brackley Town can try and come away. Good challenge in there against Samson, but he still carries away with the ball. Now here is Ndlovu on the far side of the ground. Barton and Mann is being joined by Jordan Richards for Curzon Ashton, and eventually they do win out the football here, and they're going to pass happily around the back. Now here is Connor Teal, his first involvement since returning from injury. He's been very touch and go over these past couple of weeks, but it's good to see him back in the starting 11 in a Curzon shirt. Ball launched forward over to the head of Pearce, and he's the one that wins out. He was in front position. Here is now Craig Mann, who's going to try and switch this near side with Thomas. Good to see him as well, getting some more regular starting football. He's trying to take on his man there in Lomas. He's also got a man there to try and support. Ball into the box, and it was headed down against the ground, and it was Nolan that was there at the far post, headed down, trying to send the ball into the top corner, but it just flying over the bar. This is good signs and good starts in these opening 2 minutes here for Curzon Ashton. Still 0-0, but they've not backing away from the task that's at hand. Very much looking to try and attack this game and be on the front foot early. And we'll restart with a goal kick from Danny Lewis, who is a former Kidderminster keeper, and it was goalkeeper indeed for a 2018 FA Trophy win, and it is appearance number 35 for him this evening. So it's gone long by Lewis. It's recovered there by Barton in defence. Wilson is going to send it all the way back to Renshaw, who's been having a really torrid time of it recently. Hopefully we'll be able to pick himself up some form in tonight. He goes to the far side. Richards run on there for Nolan, trying to chase and run in behind, but that's covered up well there by Franklin on the far side of the ground. Sent long. Here's Jordan Richards for Curzon Ashton to try and send that ball back into the danger zone. Now here is Moron Bedsy. Passing down and now trying to charge into the ground. That's a fantastic challenge in there by Craig Mann, who is brought down behind, and then it's going to be a free kick just in the middle of the area, in the middle of the pack, in the far side of the ground. This is a very, very good opening 3 minutes here for Curzon Ashton. Looking to try and score early. They are a team that are notorious for being very, very difficult to break down and pet back as soon as they take the lead. Brackley Town. Free kick taken here towards the near side of the ground. Thomas was the header on it. Initially, it was lost in the air, in the lights there. I think the ball from Lomas. And it's going to go out for a throw in to Curzon Ashton. Wilson, Barton, now to Mann, who's going to come all the way back for Teal, who's now going to drive past his halfway line and back into the attacking half. Here is Mann, dead on the centre circle, just twisting and turning as he does, trying to send it near side to Thomas, who heads it up for himself and almost actually got a good run and purchase on that ball. It had to be cleared away by Gareth Dean, the Brackley Town skipper, which is sending the Curzon Ashton faithful into full voice over on the far side standard terrace. Very, very encouraged by their team's performances so far in this opening stage. Throw in to come here for Curzon Ashton. Wilson standing over it. Mann initially presented a run but was ignored. He goes instead to Thomas, who's just going to try and dribble this over towards the corner flag. Ball hooked back towards Piers. He couldn't get a touch on it, and now they're trying to get away here. Here is Muron Bezi on the far side of the ground now, switching, trying to build, but there's a lot of numbers back here for Curzon Ashton. Ball launched up forward towards the path of Ndlovu, but that is going to sail all the way to the feet of Renshaw. Good evening, Byton. Hope you are doing well, my friend. You have just joined us in the opening 5 minutes. It is still Curzon Ashton nil, Brackley Town nil, but it has been a very, very lively start and a fierce forward start for Curzon Ashton here in these opening 5 minutes. Here is Wilson now on the near side of the ground inside his own defensive half. He goes all the way back to Barton. He's got Posher over on the far side to switch through Renshaw, which he does. Now here is Nolan for Curzon Ashton. Passes backwards and centrally to Barton, who's got a lot of space to drive into, going all the way back past his own halfway line, but he's going to just elect to sit this one back with Teal, possibly just to slow this one down a little bit, try and take a little bit of pep out of their own step, and possibly not even overcomplicate things in this game. Here's De Mayo now, inside his own half, being watched by Ndlovu, who was a top rail scorer for Brackley Town last season. He's got 13 for himself as well this season. Ball coming over to the near side of the ground. Wilson hooking it backwards and in. There's men in there in blue. Piers was up to the header, but Nolan was also lurking, and it's going to come away instead for Brackley Town. Over to the far side with Franklin, who sends the ball long towards Ndlovu, seeing a lot of action in terms of the lofted ball early, but doesn't seem to be able to get it under control and make any kind of meaningful forward momentum for himself, and it's now going to sit in the defensive half here for Curzon Ashton with Barton. Now here is Teal. Mann, the captain, going far side. Here is Connor De Mayo, just sanking a little bit of time on the ball, not being put under any pressure, and trying to send Barton through on a run, but that was cut out very well. Now sent long over towards the Ndlovu direction again, but that's cut out by Posher over on the far side of the ground. He's got a lot of boots to fill. He's got some strong boots to fill here tonight after Harry Flowers. Obviously, he is no longer with the club, signed before deadline day for Telford. Now here on the near side of the ground is Lau for Brackley Town, trying to drive through the heart of the Curzon Ashton defence. Tries to put it across the box, and it's going to thud into the shins of Wilson. And we're going to get our first corner of the game here for Brackley Town on the near side of the ground. There is not much of a wind here to speak of, so don't think that the weather is going to play too much of a part in tonight's action, although I did notice before the game as I was walking around the ground about 45 minutes prior to kick-off that there was a light bit of drizzle that was coming down. It might well have been just the sprinklers that were out in full force for the ground, but we will see if Mother Nature decides to add another unexpected variable to tonight's contest. Corner kick is taken in with the left boot, and it sends it by the near post. It was claimed there was an arm in the air. I don't know whether they were saying he was trying to go over the line or whether there was something untoward on the line, but it was kept out either way. And here is Mann, who's twisting and turning and driving inside his own box, eventually managed to get it away after being pressured by two red shirts. That was a very, very close call there in Brackley's first real chance and attack in this game. Here now is Piers for Curzon Ashton, touched on by Thomas. He does well to get past one. Nolan on the recovery from the loose ball from De Mayo. He's going to turn inside and out, and he's going to have to retreat. No choice there but to go back to Wilson. Now here is Mann looking to switch far side for Posher, and he's now going to send it back inboard to the Fleetwood loanee in Teal. Here's Posher now, trying to make a little bit more momentum and sort of answer that response that was given in that dangerous corner ball. Certainly something that's going to have to be have an eye kept on it throughout the stages of this game. Here is DeMaio now, dead in the centre circle. Posher on the far side for Curzon Ashton, who's drifted very, very far forward. Piers, but that pass was a little bit too hot for him to handle. It's going to work out all right, though. Here is DeMaio now for Curzon Ashton, enjoying a lot of possession early on. Man almost tried a bit of a heel-to-heel flick there. He puts the Jets on as well, but he's past 1, 2, gets past the third with a pass. No advantage being paid there for a possible infringement. Here's Thomas now on the near side of the ground. Bringing it even further near for Wilson. Now switching over middle of the ground. Here is DeMaio for Curzon Ashton. Just slowing the game back a little bit now. Here is Nolan. A lot of men around him, and then a little bit of miscommunication there, I think, between him and Barton. Now here is Ndlovu. Comes near side to Lau. And Ndlovu could try and make a run for him. He's got Lamas on his near side to try and run onto it. And the pass was just in front of Lamas, who was trying to chase onto it on this near side. If he could reach it, he was certainly home free. But it just wasn't to be there for him, the former Norwich man. And it'll be a throw into Curzon Ashton, which is taken and sent back to Renshaw in goal, making his 41st appearance across all competitions tonight this season. Here is Barton now. Chance to come on Curzon, ringing out from the far side in the standard terrace. Here is Nolan, twisting and turning, but almost turning himself inside out against Walker there. Here is Walker, and a foul is spotted there by the referee Michael Crasham. And we are going to have a free kick here for Brackley Town, just shy of the centre circle in the defensive half for Brackley. So it is 10 minutes gone here at the Tameside Stadium. It is still 0-0 between Curzon Ashton and Brackley Town, but it has been a very, very lively game, very feisty game. A lot of possession being enjoyed by Curzon Ashton at the moment. But we will see if that possession can be turned into anything meaningful on the score sheet. Remember, they come into this game, the home side, having scored just the 1 goal in the past 5 league outings. That free kick sailed over the head of Max Posher. In fact, the referee's judging that Posher guided that one on past the byline, and so now we're going to get a look at how a corner ball gets swung in by the far side of the ground for Brackley Town as Shep Moronbedzi sails over to take this one. The man who was formerly of Torquay and Chester has himself a goal this season as well. He is making his 32nd appearance across all competitions tonight. And there are about 6 or 7 red shirts for him to aim at. Going up towards the far post, and it's claimed confidently there by Renshaw, who'll be very, very happy with an early confident claim. Goal kick is sent over towards the middle of the ground. Headed back now by Barton. Lamas heads back over here to the near side. Here's Arbson, who's seen a little bit of the footy so far this early stages, who cuts inside towards the middle of the ground. Now on the edge of the area for Lau. Has to retreat slightly after the pressure from Barton. Now on the far side of the ground. Here's Lau again, who's going to try a shot from distance, and that one's sailing nothing but over the bar. I'm guessing that that's a warm greeting there from Gateshead faithful there, Crozza, with a Hawaii. I don't know whether you'll be enjoying or happy to know or not that it is still deadlocked at 0-0 here, but Curzon have certainly been the more forward team and the aggressors, and I say that now as Brackley Town now enjoy a little bit of possession. Here is Lau over towards the far side of the ground, looking to try and push. Here is York, being carefully watched there. Paul across the byline in the centre of the box. It's not gotten too far though. Here is Shet now, just inside the 18-yard box on the far side of the ground. Touched on though by Mann. Trying to find the out ball there was DeMaio, but it's just going to come back here again. Here's Armson, now switched over to the far side, flying in, and it is coming off of Teal there almost, but referee is going to call for the goal kick. Crozza, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Thank you so much. It's certainly a very, very interesting game here in this as 13 minutes just tick past on the clock. Curzon are enjoying a lot of possession, but Brackley just almost seeming like they're starting to play their way into this game a little bit. It's the last thing that Curzon are going to want, and sounds like as well that the Gateshead fans are going to want that are tuning into tonight's coverage. That they want an early goal three blue shirts surrounding Matt Lau there, who goes down. And we're going to see a free kick here to Brackley on the near side of the ground, just dead on the halfway line. Just in front of the away bench there, where you can see Kevin Wilkin, the man who has spent 6.5 years with Brackley Town here. Highlights of those including back-to-back third-place finishes in the 17-18 and the 18-19 season, and an FA trophy in 2018 as well. Sent over towards the far side of the ground, and the ball into the box was cut out by Barton. Sent back again by Barton after they were trying to send that ball backwards. Now long looping ball, still lurking around the edge of the box. Snapshots was taken there by Wes York, but it was safe and easy there for Renshaw to come and to claim. And they will roll this ball out and restart here for Curzon Ashton, trying to drive forward. Now ball searching for the near side for Thomas, but that one's headed away. Now it's headed backwards in towards the middle of the ground. Barton there to chase. Teal now being put up under a little bit of forward pressure there by Richards for Brackley. And it's found its way safely back to the feet of Renshaw, who sends the ball long and high towards the near side. Richards was there to try and find it. Lamass for the second time almost seemed to lose that ball in the sky and in the lights. But it's going to be a throwing to come for Brackley. It's being spotted about 2 yards away from being directly in line of my commentary position, but they're going to take the extra yards to throw this one our way. That was initially cut out with a head by Thomas. Pear's almost there with half a chance to try and run into that one. Now here is Richards in the middle of the ground for Brackley. Passing down to the near side of the ground for Matt Lau, who goes through the legs of Wilson. He's got a lot to do to try and recover, and he uses the body very, very well there, does Wilson, and comes away with the ball. Here's Barton in the middle of the ground. Switching over to the far side for Jordan Richards for Curzon Ashton. Here now is Posher inside his own box as the rain is now starting to come down here at the Tameside Stadium. So is that going to play a part and have an effect on this game? The touch from Mann was too heavy, but the ball coming through from Wilson. It was a very courageous effort there from Wilson, but the hook ball trying to play more centrally towards the path of Nolan was intercepted almost instantly. And then a long searching ball on the ground. Renshaw comes and meets. Now here is Richards coming backwards to Renshaw, who takes a slip. So that's the first involvement of the rain. Renshaw just taking a little bit of a slip there as he was sending that one long and down the ground for space. Apparently that Crown to Crozar, but Brackley aren't too clever in the rain. So we'll see whether this persists and how both sides adapt to it. Here is Pears for Curzon Ashton. Can't quite reach that one to intended target in Mann. Now here's DeMaio in the middle of the ground, touching that ball on. Pears has got a lot of try and chase that one in, but doing well there was Dean. And it's starting to drizzle down quite handily here. See it in the lights. Wilson cops one in the face, but it's all going to end all right as it's going to roll back to Renshaw, who doesn't slip this time. Goes high and down the line. Thomas feels the hand in his back and takes the ground and takes the free kick here on the near side, which Mann was initially looking to possibly get it going quickly, but elects to come short instead, and it's given straight back to him by Connor Teal, and he's going to try and look to send Nolan, who did control it with a touch here. Now is DeMaio trying to chase in on the far side of the ground. A little bit of miscommunication perhaps there from Brackley. The ball is sent long, takes a couple of bounces, and Lavu just couldn't quite read the bounce properly there, and it's controlled and played on the ground nicely by Renshaw. Here is Teal. We will go around the grounds and try to go around the grounds for an update elsewhere in the National League North in the next stoppage. Here's Wilson now for Curzon on the near side of the ground. Mann, the captain, who's dropped back inside to his own half as he likes to do, a real box-to-box midfielder, who is in game number 37 tonight across all competitions with the captain's armband for Curzon. Here is Thomas on the near side of the ground, right in front of the home bench. Adam Lakeland will certainly be encouraged by the performance that his side is putting in so far in his opening 20 minutes. Here is Thomas off the pass from Mann on the near side of the ground, being watched by Lau. Ball comes in, but that one sailing over and is going to go out for a goal kick. Apparently Luke's updating us with it's 2-0 to Kettering against York. Very, very surprising. And the only other goal is to tell you about is Farsley Celtic. They are 1-0 up against Guiseley in the 18th minute. And then the two Champions League quarterfinals have just kicked off. So interesting to hear that York have got a lot of work to do in their game tonight. Of course, Brackley Town will be travelling to York this weekend. So a result against York tonight could deal well. Here is Ndlovu, though, who's got a little bit of space. Being watched here. Chance here for Brackley, and it's saved and pounded away. Very, very well there by Renshaw. It was Wes York that was through on goal on the near side of the box. Tries to push it, slide it along the ground to the far side, and at full stretch along the ground, Renshaw extends his right hand and saves that one away for a corner to Brackley Town on the far side. First big chance for Brackley Town of this game as we're near the 20-minute mark. It is still 0-0, but for how much longer? Corner is swung in, is headed away at the front post by Thomas, and then it's hooked away for Mann. The ball just bounces too high over him. Thomas heading the ball out and away for a throw on the far side. Massive relegation scrap there between Farsley Celtic and Guiseley. Yeah, good call there, Luke. Very, very good call. Of course, it is still very much all to play for there at the bottom of the National League North. One of the, I think the beauties of this league is that it is never really over until it's over. Long shot wound up, but it clatters against one of the signage boards. Wasn't too bad of a shot. I think it was Lamass there that was the one that decided to have a go from quite a way out, easily about 25-30 yards. And just thudding against the advertising boards there. I think if it was on target, that Renshaw would have had things covered. As I can see in front of me on the substitutes bench that Hobson, Witham, and it looks like Marriott all are being sent with the bibs on for a little bit of a jog. As play is restarted. Here, Thomas trying to head the ball forward for Nolan. Little bit of a scrap at the back to get it away, but it is eventually cleared by Brackley. Barton, his header backwards towards Mann was nowhere near, and now turning inside is Armson, who switches over towards the far side of the ground. Here is Franklin for Brackley. Touched backwards by the man over there in Lau, and then sent all the way back to Renshaw. It's been a strange opening 20 minutes here, this one. Curzon Ashton really starts the opening 5 minutes really, really lively and really high on the front foot. But since then, they've almost just seemed to settle in and settle back, soak up a little bit of pressure that's been brought by Brackley. As Renshaw initially looked like he was going to send that one long to the near side of the ground here for Thomas, but instead comes short. Wilson appeal that ball went out, but the referee and the linesman there on the near side is judging not. Man, wasn't a half bad passage of play, but it's certainly not over. DeMaio, his touch is away from him though, and now here is York for Brackley on the far side of the ground. Cutting back inside, trying to switch here, and Lovo has a lot of room to try and make up to chase that ball down. A thumbs up and appreciation for the idea nonetheless, and it is going to be a goal kick to come for Curzon Ashton. So they're starting to really find their confidence here a little bit of the visitors. Brackley, you can see why they are fighting for the title. Unbeaten since the beginning of February. And they're hoping to extend that run of form here tonight. So Renshaw is just making sure that he's got his perfect spot to send this goal kick in. And he does that now. Piers heading that one back behind him. It is dealt with. Nolan there to try and pressure the goalkeeper. Doesn't get too much difference. Man, DeMaio does very, very well in the challenge there. And now here is Richards for Curzon Ashton on the far side of the ground. Had a little bit of space, sending the early ball in towards and across the box. And going past everyone that was running onto it. I think the most likely there was Thomas that was coming in on the near side of from the near side of the ground, but not to be there. It was a good idea though, and it was a very good passage of play. Good courage there from Connor DeMaio to ride the challenges there. And we are going to have a goal kick for from Danny Lewis, and Brackley Town urging to try and push together. Here is the message, it sounds like, from the away bench. Barton for Curzon Ashton. Ball is being kept high up with the head. Barton eventually now just sort of scissor kicking that ball, launching it forward. A lot of work here to do for the Brackley defence. Piers was there in cover. That's good cutting out as well there by DeMaio, who's looking livelier now. Here's DeMaio, fast side of the ground, fakes the cross initially with a right, goes back to Richards, who's going to cross first ball. A lot of blue shirts to aim at, and crashing in there was Dean, the captain, to send that one away. And we're going to see our first Curzon Ashton corner coming on from the far side of the ground. He had to get his head a spot on there, Dean, because it was either going to meet the head of Tom Piers, or it very well could have rippled into the back of the net. I think Lewis would have very much been helpless and a bit of a standstill if that ball did get deflected goalwards off his captain. So corner to come on the far side of the ground. Thomas was there, and it just flights across the box. Ball still live and in play though. Barton chasing it on the near side. Now here is Mann, being watched, not getting a lot of space, twisting, turning, trying to find a little bit of space to put that ball back into the danger area. Here's Barton now, who's come back a little bit. He's going to swing this ball towards the edge of the box, and it's cut out initially by Lau, I think that is, but now it's been played out, and here is Nolan again. Shaggy, thank you so much for the follow there, my friend. You've joined at a very, very lively time. Here is Barton for Curzon Ashton, just taking a little bit of time, assessing their options. They're back in shape though. Here are Brackley Town to try and prevent any further attack and any further pressure. And now possibly just a little bit of a moment to breathe for everybody involved. It is still somehow here Curzon Ashton nil, Brackley Town nil, but they're still trying to attack and press. Here is Richards on the far side of the ground for Curzon, switching over to near side. Teal, his touch was heavy, but he wasn't really put under any kind of pressure, and then his pass forward was cut out by Lamass. Now it's Hundlovu. It's 3 against 1. He's got Lamass charging in, but Hundlovu has managed to go past Posher. Hundlovu with a chance, and a foot in there by Richards, cuts it away. And indeed, I think actually it's being judged that it's going out for a goal kick. The pressure alone of Jordan Richards has just put Ndlovu off of what was a really dangerous counter-attack. And all of that is just going to end in a goal kick for Curzon Ashton. So 26 and a half gone. It is still somehow Curzon Ashton nil, Brackley Town nil. Both sides having fantastic chances in this opening half. Curzon Ashton enjoyed a really, really great 5-minute spell there. And it's a 5-minute spell that certainly could not be could extend as the rain continues to trickle down. Nolan trying to go into a challenge there, and he's pulled up a little bit short there as well, has Nolan. It's going to be a throw in on the far side of the ground to Curzon Ashton, but we're going to have a stop in play. And it is going to be we're going to have to stop for Nolan, who got caught a little bit late here in the initial challenge. He is back up on his feet though, and we are going to be able to continue and restart with a throw on the far side of the ground for Curzon Ashton that Jordan Richards is standing over, trying to direct traffic. It's just shy of the halfway line inside the defensive half. Looped up to Barton, but he was being hurried there by Richards for Brackley. He's going to send it all the way back to Marcus Posher, who's been decent so far this evening at the back, as has this man, Connor Teal on the ball, driving forward. Teal, after the reception from Barton, passes a little bit loose from for Renshaw to handle, but he does well. And Teal's going to launch this one over towards the far side of the ground. Piers was the target. Mann controls it with a touch, and that's going to be a foul. Certainly looked like it from my angle, and the referee agreed from the one that he had. Craig Mann was brought down there by Richards for Brackley, and we're going to have a free kick just shy of the centre circle in the defensive half for Curzon Ashton. So it seems like that Curzon Ashton really trying to press his advantage as he's sent here on the near side of the ground. Thomas was in combat there with Lomas. It's been a really, really interesting watch here, this near side duel on the wing. And I think a little bit of a complaint there from the goalkeeper that the ball is a bit flat. Referee agrees. And looks like we might have a change in football. So a little bit of a discussion being had here on the home bench. New balls, please, and the bench and the backroom staff for Curzon happily oblige. And well, referee certainly getting the chance to get his steps in here tonight. And drop ball to restart. Don't think there'll be any real complaints about that. And we will get back underway with the feet of Lewis, who sends this ball long towards the near side of the ground. And it is Brackley that wins out, and Laver was the intended target, but that was cut out first time by Barton. The captain had to step across there, Dean, for Brackley. And there's going to be a throw-in to come just in front of the away bench for Curzon Ashton. A little bit of action on the Brackley bench here as a man is sent to have a run. A bit of a trip and a slip there by Armson before the throw was taken. Here is Posher now on the far side of the ground, switching. De Mayo continuing to Nolan on the far side. There's a little bit of a divot, I think, there I can spot in the centre circle, just inside the attacking half for Curzon. See if that gets tended to at half time. Here is Teal inside his own half, asking for Wilson, and Wilson will receive. But he's going to get it straight back after Lau was trying to come forward and initiate a little bit of a press. Now here on the far side of the ground with Curzon Ashton coming centrally. Here is Teal trying to just cross that halfway threshold. They're just teetering on the edge of it here. Thomas backwards to Teal inside the Curzon defensive half yet again. Here now is Barton coming centrally. Nolan, Barton yet again. They will sort of frustrate them slightly. Slipping as he sends that ball to Thomas, but it reached him instead. De Mayo leaving that one in, banging a little bit of a body block there for Mann, who's trying to slip through Thomas. He reached there as well, and it's going to have to have been cut out by Lamas at the near side of the ground. Corner to come. They are very, very much taking this game seriously, Luke. I think that a good performance here, a strong performance here is going to be able to help attest to what Adam Lakeland was saying after the game on Saturday night, that he wanted his the fans of the club and everyone around the side to get behind the team in this what has been this real tough run of games. And the belief certainly being displayed here as we pass the half an hour mark. Corner put over towards the far post. Piers there with half a foot. Thought better of it though. Mann trying to prill that ball backwards in. Shouts of ref, I think, from both teams there. I don't think either was too happy with decisions that were or weren't given towards them, but either way it's going to result in Curzon Ashton with the football again. Here on the near side, it's Wilson trying to continue near side to Thomas, who tried the flick on the back heel behind, but man wasn't quite in the right position to receive that one, and we'll have a throw in here on the near side of the ground directly in front of my commentary position for Brackley Town. It is another little bit of a breather as it's still 0-0 here somehow between Curzon Ashton and Brackley Town. If obviously things stay the way that they are, then Brackley will go top of the table. Sent high up into the air on the far side of the ground. Mariette, Nolan trying to continue for the run of Richards, and they find them there. Starting to build quite nicely here. There's a lot of space on the near side, which Mariette can, or if De Mayo, I beg your pardon, can try and find it, but he was swamped almost as soon as he got a hold of that ball. And he's sent back to the goalkeeper in Lewis, who pumps the ball along towards the Enlivo direction. But that one is going to bounce out over on the far side of the ground for a Curzon Ashton throw-in. Let's have another look around the grounds, and the only new goal in the National League North to tell you about is that Chorley Town have taken the lead against Boston United there in the 33rd minute, and in the Champions League, just the one goal to report. Liverpool are in the lead in that quarter-final tie away at Benfica. It is still 0-0 at the Etihad Stadium between Manchester City and Atletico Madrid. So the ball was sent down the line off of that throw-in, but just bouncing over for a throw-in to Brackley over on the far side of the ground. So yes, confirmation of course that if results stay as they are, Brackley Town do move into first place and a point above Gateshead, but they will be level on 35 games played with Gateshead, and of course then AFC Fylde and Kidderminster surrounding them, who are the only team, other team in the top four who are playing tonight. Here is Mann though for Curzon Ashton in the middle of the park in the defensive half. I was trying to send that ball through to Thomas, but pass couldn't reach him. Now Lau has got to chase on with Mann, and Mann is the one who wins out. Playing that ball back to Renshaw, who's got a little bit of time to assess his options and urge his team to push forward for these last 10 minutes plus stoppage time of this half. It is still 0-0 here at the Tameside Stadium, and the rain is still continuing to fall. Here is Lau, who tried to turn inside, but that was cut out by Teal. Touch ball from Nolan. Here's Piers, has to take it for the far side of the ground. Fires in a shot, ricocheted for... but it's worked out all right for Curzon Ashton. Nolan to Jordan Richards, fakes the first time ball, tries to go the second time, very close to the goalkeeper, pulled across, Thomas, shoot, Shimoyo is saved! Saved by Lewis there from close range, and somehow Brackley are going to escape with this game still intact. Now, here is Lau on the near side of the ground, trying to build a counter-attack, but the pass back to Richards was a poor one. Not returning. Thank you so much for following along to the stream, to the channel. You've joined the stream and joined the show at a very, very good time and a very, very good looking game. Richards now for Curzon Ashton. His pass forwards to Nolan, just cut out. And now here is Muram Bedzi. Haven't said his name in quite a little bit of time here so far this evening. Continuing to try and build on the far side of the ground. Here's Ndlovu for Brackley, being watched there by Posher, who almost catches his man late, but his wave play on there by the referee. Now in the middle of the pack for Brackley, switched to the near side. Here's Lomas being chased by Wilson, and Wilson is just going to see that one out for a throw on the near side of the ground, 5 yards to the left-hand side of the corner flag. Whew, what another 5 minutes of football here at the Tameside Stadium. It should have really been 1-0. Almost made out of nothing as well. Jordan Richards for Curzon on the far side faked the initial first time cross, sent the ball in here to the near post and the near side for Thomas, who managed to hook that ball back across to Piers, who touched that one down, and Colin DeMaio from about 6 to 8 yards out fired the shot, but it was straight at Danny Lewis in goal, who had to react quickly. And now Connor Franklin here for Brackley is going to line up and look to try and go the long one into the box, up towards the near post. It bounds around a little bit inside the box, and it comes out again, but it is going to come back here with Brackley Town. The pass down is taken out by Lomas on the near side, and danger averted for the home side for now as we tick down the minutes. It's 38th minute here. Got about 7 minutes plus stoppage time left to play in this half. It's been a very, very strong and spirited performance from Curzon Ashton, who are going to give away a foul here. A little bit too eager with the arms there was Wilson on the near side against Matt Lau. And it is going to be a free kick to Brackley Town. Matt Lau is closing himself in on 250 appearances for Brackley Town, as is Ellis Miles, if he makes his way onto the ground this evening. As the rain starts to slow a little bit. It's still coming down, but it's only very much a light, thin drizzle. as it's now being launched from near side over to far side, being sent into the box in the near side, and Lau trying to send that ball high and over towards the far post and keep it in play. It has been kept in play, but it is Connor De Maio there for Curzon that is the one that has reclaimed it and has done very, very well there to deal with the joint pressure from Brackley Town, and has won a throw-in for his side on the far side of the ground, about 10 yards away from their corner flag. So coming up to 40 minutes gone, it is still somehow Curzon Ashton 0 and Brackley Town 0 here at the Tameside Stadium. It has been a very, very attacking, very, very open game. And you've got to feel that there's got to be at least one goal that is going to come here, as a foul is going to get called for by the referee. It was almost bundled over as well there by the amount of players that were around. Mix of red and blue shirts there trying to vie for that football, but it's all ended up with a free kick that James Armson is standing over. I have a feeling that this is just going to get sent in towards that corridor of uncertainty, that 8 to 10 yard area in the box, and that's exactly where it goes, towards the near side of the ground, and it's headed away by Connor Teal, who hasn't really put a foot wrong so far. Neither of the centre backs have that have returned here this evening. And it's going to be a corner ball to come here on the near side of the ground for Brackley Town, as the last moments tick away from this first half. Job's not done yet defensively. Sent in and doesn't clear the man at the front post in Thomas. Man trying to chase and win the second ball, but it's sent back instead for Brackley Town. Cut away by Wilson. Thomas launching the ball up for Pearce to try and chase in, but Franklin sends that one all the way back to the goalkeeper. And they will take their time here to restart. I imagine that Curzon will be happy going into this half-time break at 0-0, but they certainly feel like they will be a little bit feeling a little bit more comfortable if that De Maio chance was slotted home. Barton skies a ball up here on the near side. A bit of a dangerous one for Wilson to try and attack with Ndlovu. Is bumbling around here on the near side of the ground. Armson trying to send it towards Ndlovu. Still trying to fight here on this near side. Man. Big shout for handball from Man. Thomas there gets sandwiched by two Brackley players, and it is going to come away here for Brackley. Here is Ndlovu, sort of in the middle of the ground. Here is now Murrumbedzi, finally switching to the far side of the ground. Franklin. York now taking over. Slipped as he crossed the ball in, and Posher is the one to clear it away. Here now is De Maio. Far side now for Curzon Ashton. Here is Posher to Barton. A little bit of space around him and a fair bit of space on the near side of the ground if Curzon can use it quicker. Here is Thomas now on the near side. Wilson. Thomas is running in on the overlap. Instead elects to just go to the feet of Piers more centrally, and the pass backwards to Man had the wrong angle on it, but it's been reclaimed here by Richards for Curzon Ashton on the far side of the ground. De Maio just on the edge of the 18-yard box on the far side of the ground. Here is now Nolan back to De Maio, who's going to loft a ball out towards the near post on the left, and it's headed away initially by Lamass, but danger not gone yet. Lamass thunders the ball trying to go long, and Wilson runs in to intercept and send that ball out for a throw in here on the near side of the ground, about in line with the 18-yard box here in the defensive half for Brackley Town. This is a really, really fantastic rebound performance here from Curzon Ashton. A real solid half, but we've seen an opportunity. We've seen examples of rude performances and rude chances in the coming days and the recent days. They had a really, really good half an hour spell in that first half against Spennymoor here on Saturday afternoon, but they learned to rue those chances as they could do here. York was trying to run onto that loose ball, but Renshaw was off of his line well. And there's going to be a throw in here on the far side of the ground to Brackley. Could we have a little bit of late drama being added and a little bit of extra spice being added to the mixing pot that is brewing up to be an absolutely fantastic, delicious meal of football here on this Tuesday night? Here is Piers now inside his own half for Curzon Ashton. He's dispossessed there though by Murrumbedzi. Now here is Lover about 20 yards out centrally. Initially being challenged there by Wilson. Bit of an appeal there that he was fouled there, Wilson. But they're going to clear it away anyway. Curzon Ashton, and is sent again all the way back to the keeper. And it is launched up towards the centre circle. Moran Bedsy there was just watching on, almost helpless, and an offside flag is been gone up against Piers. Judged to have come back from an offside position when that pass was being played, or when that header was being sent over. And we will have a free kick here inside the defensive half for Brackley Town. It's, in fact, it's directly in line with me. Almost feels like the assistant on the far side there is pointing at me with his flag. Nonetheless, we restart. Dean sends it centrally to Walker. Still inside the own half, defensive half here for Brackley. Low ball here being sent from Franklin towards Richards, who's managed to win it there as well. Here now is Lau, turns past Mann, looking to try and blow past Barton, but he's dragged his shot there. And it was easy enough for Renshaw there to come down and collect and have roll into his arms. As we enter into the 45th minute, we'll know momentarily if any there are going to be any minutes of stoppage time here added on, and it is still 0-0 here at the Tameside Stadium between Curzon Ashton and Brackley Town, as this ball is launched up towards about 20 yards out in the attacking half towards Piers. Poshard driving forward inside the attacking half to try and send that ball forward. Barton looping, they're just winning those balls that are just high up in the air. Teal does very, very well there, Teal, to control that ball. It was a very, very difficult ball for him to win. Mann drives back inside his own half. Poshard going all the way backwards to Renshaw. Referee has a quick check of his watch, and we're going to find out now how many minutes of stoppage time, if any, we are going to see, as the kick from Renshaw was intended for Thomas to try and control and keep him, but wasn't to be. And we are going to have a throw in here for Brackley Town. It's just the minute of stoppage time being added on to what has been a scintillating half of National League North football. Here is Mann now in the middle of the ground, trying to bring them to the near side and bring Thomas into the game. But that one's cut away by Lamas. Half a shot there from handball. Good vital foot there needed by Wilson to take the sting off of that intended forward pass for Ndlovu. And now here is Teal, looking to send this one towards the near side of the ground. It looks like Nolan there is really getting his jets on and getting his laces on. Here is Thomas now on the near side of the ground, dispossessed, but winning it back well is there DeMaio. He is then surrounded by two shirts, and a shake of the head there after a trailing leg. I'm surprised how that wasn't given. And then a great challenge in there by Mann to win that ball away. Last touch judged to have come off Ndlovu. And a throw-in is going to come here in front of the visiting bench for Curzon Ashton. Wilson just motioning to his players that he wants things to settle down. Possibly been given a little cheeky whisper that they want to see this game through to half-time at 0-0. Wilson is going to send this one down the line on the near side of the ground. Thomas was sandwiched and placed between two players there for Brackley. Piers having to try and do the hard work, and that is going to be half time here. Well, a really, really fantastic half of National League football here. Curzon Ashton and Brackley Town both having good chances. The first chance coming from Brackley Town was Matt Lau that was the one who almost had it turned in, but wasn't to be. Cleared off of the line on the near side. And then for Curzon Ashton, I think one of the best chances of the half, Connor DeMaio, after a cheeky and an innovative, if I can speak, an innovative little back pass from Piers, firing centrally from 8 to 10 yards out. But Danny Lewis for Brackley Town was equal to it. So it is half-time here at the Tameside Stadium. Curzon Ashton 0, Brackley Town 0. We'll be back in just a moment to break down the first half's action and to give you a full update around the grounds, around the National League North and in the Champions League. We'll be back in 60 seconds. So it is half-time here at the Tameside Stadium. Curzon Ashton 0, Brackley Town 0. We will now go quickly around the grounds. It is half-time across most of the other fixtures in the National League North. Chorley have gone into the first half, the end of the first half, 1-0 up against Boston United. Farsley Celtic is still also leading 1-0. They are still going at the moment in their first half against Guiseley. Kettering Town have taken their 2-0 lead to the half-time break. A lot of work for York City to do there. 0-0 between Kidderminster Harriers and Alfreton Town, and it is still 0-0 between Spennymoor and Bradford Park Avenue. That has now just had the half-time whistle blown on it. And then in the Champions League, 2 Champions League quarter-final ties that are being played tonight, Benfica are still trailing 1-0 at home to Liverpool. It was Canate that was the goal scorer for Liverpool. And Manchester City and Atletico Madrid are still deadlocked at the Etihad Stadium at 0-0. So it's been a really, really fantastic half here from Curzon Ashton. You can see there that NT has congratulated the Nash on their performance this half, and I have to agree, it has been a really, really positive and an attacking half here from Curzon Ashton. They're utilising the wide areas very, very well. It almost seems like it's the Curzon Ashton of old, which feels very, very odd to say that when I'm only referring to the Curzon side that I used to watch, or I've watched about a month to a month and a half ago, but it really does look like a completely different team that is out there and is playing there. It looks like they're almost enjoying their football a bit more at Curzon Ashton here tonight. Brackley have certainly been playing themselves into this game though. Take nothing away from them. They have looked dangerous when they are on the front foot, but some of those balls that they're just trying to put in the box are just sliding a little bit across the deck. I think possibly that's the weather that's starting to play a part as the drizzle starts to intensify a little bit. I can see now there is quite a really picturesque almost sheen across the surface here, with where the rain has been coming down since about the 10th minute of this game. But it's certainly making things difficult. We've obviously heard earlier on in the show and then earlier on in the coverage that apparently the Brackley aren't the best in the wet weather. They certainly might have to go into in the halftime break and put the intermediates on, put the wets on if it gets any heavier. But it seems like for Curzon Ashton, they already went out there on the inters. They had a look at the weather radar ahead of time, and they've got a good race strategy and a good game strategy here. Of course, quite apt that I'm using the F1, the Formula 1 analogies here tonight. Obviously, at the end of this weekend are the Australian Grand Prix taking place. Brackley is starting to realise that Curzon are coming forward. Yeah, that is certainly an interesting call. That's a good call there, Luke. They're really starting. The thing is as well is that they're not when Curzon do come forward, they deal with it, Brackley, but it's certainly not the cleanest. Whereas in terms of when Brackley come forward, Curzon Ashton are keeping their heads really, really clear, and they're being able to pass out from the back. They're able to spend a little bit of time on the ball. They're not panicking under the pressure. So I wonder if that's something that Curzon Ashton need to just try and push forward and exploit, perhaps try and get a little bit of a press going and try and capitalise on a mistake or half a mistake that gets made. But Brackley are certainly the favourites coming into this game, you'd have to say. But now, yeah, absolutely, NT. Curzon is certainly a bit more settled at the back, and I think that's part and parcel of the returns for both Marcus Posher and Connor Teal, who have played absolutely incredible halves. Both of them have been really, really good. Connor Teal especially has looked really, really confident on the ball, really happy to drive between his own defensive half and the attacking half. Adam Barton is actually playing quite well. He's playing that more natural kind of holding, roaming sort of midfield kind of position, and Barton's been quite involved. Certainly credit to him in his 22nd appearance across all competitions here this afternoon. Of course, he was brought off as well on last Tuesday, this time last week. The best player on the pitch. Oof. Ooh, that's a difficult one. You know what? I think at the moment I'd have to give it to Adam Thomas for Curzon Ashton. He has been really dangerous here down on this near side. But I think that Connor Teal has to come in a close second. I think honestly, my top 3 or 4 best players on the pitch would all have to be Curzon players at the moment. They just seem like they're playing a bit of a cut above tonight here. And Lovu has been getting involved for Brackley Town, but the problem is that it's not real meaningful kind of involvement. Exploiting Brackley's defence, they will start to crumble. Well, that's going to be the hope coming into this second half. I mean, they've got reinforcements on the bench, Curzon Ashton. They could utilise the likes of Jordan Lassie and the young Luke Marriott, the 18-year-old loanee from Blackpool, or they could throw out the big man, the big unit, Craig Hobson, to try and throw him off a little bit, try and give the Brackley defence a bit of a different look. Obviously, they've been playing a little bit physically and putting those balls up towards the chest and the feet of Tom Pears, but when you get someone that's a bit bigger, not just in size but in height as well, it opens up another bit of another puzzle that the Brackley Town defence might be called on to solve. But they are certainly looking strong here, Curzon Ashton. But the thing that they don't want to look now is, or the thing they don't want to get is comfortable and complacent. They don't want to go into the halftime break thinking that they are playing Brackley off the park and then concede a silly goal. Who's going to win the league? Gateshead or Brackley? Judging, now that I've seen both teams play, and judging on the halves of football that I've seen play, I think Gateshead win the league. Personally, I think Gateshead win the league. Judging on the across the 2 first half performances that I've seen. Okay, there's a couple of different variables to add in. Obviously, it's raining here tonight. It wasn't raining over at Gateshead when Curzon travelled there a few weeks ago. There are a couple of names that are missing or are not playing here for Curzon Ashton. Of course, there's no Matthew Challoner here tonight for Curzon Ashton. He's been dropped from tonight's game, and then Harry Flowers has been transferred away from Curzon Ashton to Telford. But judged on the base of play and judged on the style of football that I've been seeing, I certainly think that my vote is going with Gateshead for the league. But there's still certainly time to go. There's still certainly a way to go. Yeah, absolutely. The attacking prowess that was on display in Gateshead a few weeks ago was just unbelievable. It was really brilliant, really quite good to watch, and certainly a side that I wish my success to. From a personal standpoint, I have a bit of a footballing connection to Gateshead. It's where I got my start when I used to referee. I used to referee a bit of mini soccer, a bit of mini football. Thank you so much for the follow there. I'll try and pronounce that name. Prezemi. I'm just going to call you Prezemi, mate. I hope that's all right. I'm not going to try and butcher that name, that pronunciation. Thank you so much for the follow there, though, my friend. Really appreciate that. Need to keep Brackley out for the first 15 minutes in the second half as they try to pressure us. Then maybe catch them on the counter. That's not a bad idea. That certainly is not a bad idea. Kevin Scott, yeah, he is. I tell you what, he is a quality player. He is. You got a quality player there on your hands in Kevin Scott. But that's an interesting call there about trying to catch them on the counter. I certainly think that's something that Curzon will want to keep in the back of their heads. But in all honesty, I think that Curzon want to continue this wing play. They are getting a lot of joy here with Thomas getting the best of Lamas as it stands at the moment on this battle on the left-hand side. Whether that's going to change when the teams change ends and they switch over towards the far side side of the ground is we will have to see. But I certainly think that they're getting a lot of joy there in the wings. It's just going to be that final ball into the box. They are both staying for next season as well. Oof. Certainly going to be a team to watch then if you guys do make it all the way up into the National League. Here's going to be a question though for you, Luke, and possibly something that everybody else could possibly chime in on in the chat if they have any thoughts or any ideas. If Gateshead were to win the league and get promoted this season and go into the National League and then go possibly back-to-back and win back-to-back promotions, do you think that Gateshead will be able to hold themselves in League 2? Because I think it's always that difficult branch, isn't it? As soon as you get promoted up from the National League to the Football League, it's certainly been done before, and there've been some strong teams that have come through from the National League and have made the League 2 their home. Of course, one of the most recent ones being Harrogate Town. They are certainly performing well for themselves in their first couple of seasons in the Football League. But is a similar story going to be called on for Gateshead if they make it up? They certainly have a stadium that can handle League 2. Absolutely, yeah. I think you should stay in the National League, or you're going to stay in the National League. In all honesty, I don't think that there's any harm in that, though. A couple of seasons in the National League, just sort of getting your footing around, and then assessing once you've got a better lie of the land in the league, perhaps, whether you think you could challenge for promotion, or whether you think, yeah, you know what, this is probably our level of football. The ground, like NT says, certainly could handle National League football. Playoffs will be the target. That's an ask. That is a big ask. I certainly think the squad could do it, but like I say, it might be spend that first season to just adjust yourselves to the National League, and then send the next season after that to. You have to be careful going too early. Look at York. Yeah, York are going through a bit of a tough patch of form and footy at the moment. Their loss in the FA Trophy semi-final has certainly been a big hit to that club's confidence. Of course, the final of that featuring Hollywood-owned Wrexham with Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElnary. They are taking their team to a trip down Wembley Way towards the back end of this season. So we're just a few moments now, I think, from the teams rejoining the pitch and this game getting back underway. I'll thank everybody so far that has joined us for tonight's coverage. It is really, really lovely to have you here, and really, really lovely to have the interaction going as well. Of course, a big thank you as well to everybody that has followed along to the stream and to the channel so far tonight. I'll give you all another shout out while we've got some time. So Luke, Crozza, Shaggy, Not Your Attorney, and Prosme, thank you all so much for following and supporting the stream. You'll notice one of the icons on the right hand side of your screen here is the Twitch Sports Accelerator. I'm part of the Sports Accelerator program here on Twitch, predominantly doing Australian rules football based content, but I figured with being a commentator here with Curzon Ashton, it would be silly to not include this. So by following the stream and sharing it around, you are supporting the stream more than you can imagine. If you are able to as well, you do have the option to subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the stream. You might be able to do that completely free as well. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link that to your Twitch account, and you'll have a free Prime sub there to use for any stream and any channel along Twitch. It's absolutely not a necessity though. Just you guys being here and just liking the stream, following the stream and sharing it around is getting a lot of eyes onto it and a lot of discussion into the chat, and for that I cannot thank each and every one of you enough. So the teams are now back out on the ground here for the resumption of the second half. We will see if there is going to be a change at all here tonight for in this between the half.
Enjoy the rest of the match.
Last checks being made as well by the linesmen and the referees. Looks like there are not going to be any substitutions made by either side. Curzon Ashton certainly not really having the need to make any changes after their first half performance, and Brackley, I think, will believe in the capability of their side to be able to hold on and then hopefully launch a result forward. Apparently Brackley fans are starting to worry a little bit on Twitter. Let's see if Curzon Ashton can really give the visitors something to think about. We are back underway here. Second half has been kicked off. Brackley Town are kicking from right to left from my commentary position. Curzon Ashton are kicking from left to right. No changes, and straight in there was Nolan in with a tackle to intercept. And now here is Nolan on the side of the ground. Piers just on the edge of the 18-yard box, tries to slice it from distance. Had a little bit of dip on that shot, but just dipping a little bit too late. And already Curzon Ashton coming out of the blocks in the second half the same way they ended the first, on the front foot and trying to take the early lead. Shot was coming in from the middle of the ground, about 20-25 yards out, just firing over. It was dipping, but dipped a little bit too late to trouble Danny Lewis in goal. So everyone is now congregated over towards the far side of the ground, which is where Lewis sends that long goal kick. It's misses the first two men there in Mann and Richards, and it is touched off of the boot of Wilson on the far side of the ground, and it is going to be a Brackley Town throw on the far side. And Lovu trying to make a run inside, and here's the one that is utilised, but the pass going straight back to the man throwing in. Now here is Lau. Flag goes up almost as soon as he touches that ball. And we're going to have a free kick coming here for Curzon Ashton. Luke saying that they're going to bottle it if these counter-attacks aren't dealt with. Counter-attack is, I think, something that is a very much a staple and a common fixture in the modern game today. We see how devastating the counter-attack can be. Especially my club, West Ham United, are very, very prolific on the counter-attack through players like Jared Bowen, Mikhail Antonio, Pablo Fornals side Ben Rama, and of course they are in Europa League quarter-final action on Thursday night. They host Olympique Lyonnais in the first leg at the London Stadium. Throw-in taken here by Brackley, but it's intercepted here by Curzon Ashton, trying to find and wiggle a little bit of room. There was Piers on the far side of the ground, but it's taken away for Brackley Town. Now here is Ndlovu charging and darting through the middle of the ground, trying to see the run there through. Curzon Ashton sending back. Now here on the far side of the ground, cross across the box, and it comes off the inside of the post and off of the face as well, I think, by York. Still floating around here for Brackley, though, on the edge of the box, and it is now dealt with and held by James Armstrong for Brackley Town on the near side of the ground. Waved away there after Franklin went down, and a goal kick has been given there for Curzon Ashton, but a real dangerous moment there. Ball went out to the far side of the ground, and it was almost a cross. I think it was intended to be a cross there on the far side. It ricocheted off of the inside of the near post to the near hand side here on my commentary position, and off of the face, I think, of Wes York, and just didn't direct the right way. If it was a different bounce and a different deflection, that would have been 1-0 to Brackley, and you would have had to say it would have been against the run of play as well. As the opening 5 minutes tick in, still no signs of this game slowing down in drama and theatrics. It is still 0-0 here at the Tameside Stadium as the rain has started to stop. It is starting to really clear up now. Here now is Wilson on the far side of the ground for Curzon Ashton. Nice little turn there initially by Armson, but it is kept away and is brought away here for Curzon Ashton as Teal elects to come back to Renshaw. He's going to take a couple of touches and send this one long, and no one really in blue was there to chase, and Lewis will catch that one with a hop. And we'll restart this game as Piers initially had a little bit of a half thought of trying to press Lewis there as he rolled that ball along the ground. Then the clearance was touched on by Lau on the far side of the ground, and we're going to get a throw in to Curzon Ashton, far side, that is going to be taken by Scott Wilson. So 50 minutes gone here in total. It is still 0-0. Brackley Town had a fantastic chance to make it 1 as well. A little bit of an argy-bargy there between Tom Pearce and Gareth Dean, the Brackley Town captain. Brackley come away with the throw-in and is sent long down the line towards Ndlovu. Teal is there battling with him in the behind back position. And Teal is the one that loses out, and it's going to be a free kick here for Brackley on the far side of the ground, about halfway through the attacking half for the visitors. And they will take their time to get plenty of numbers forward here. Brackley at the moment is just the one man back in the cover to protect against those counter-attacks that we spoke about at half-time could be the tool and could be the key to a Curzon Ashton lead. It is sent up towards the penalty box, and Levu was there. Goalkeeper came out, spilled it initially, but claimed it at the second time of asking, and elects to throw out towards the near side of the ground here with Richards, who's going to look to try and send Pears in, and the header on from Nolan, just a little bit too much zip, and it is going to go out for a goal kick to Brackley. So now might be the time. It might be a little bit early, but you've got to start thinking in your head as a manager, who can I look to bring on to try and change this game? Who's going to be the spark plug to possibly either take the 3 points or ensure that the points are shared here tonight? Certainly, I imagine very many happy Curzon Ashton fans at tonight's display in these opening 50 minutes. But still plenty of game left to go. Here is Mann trying to control it in the middle of the ground. DeMaio went in there with a really great tackle, and then nice close control there to keep the play going and keep the ball with Curzon Ashton. Thomas passing backwards all the way to Teal. He's going to receive it back again and is going to drive inside the attacking half, looking for options, looking for forward momentum. Here's DeMaio, and that one, I think, was trying to stretch a little bit there, Connor DeMaio, and it is going to go out for a goal kick to Brackley. I thought initially that it had come off the feet of Walker, who was there to help defend. But nonetheless, we are going to have a goal kick. And Glenn Walker, who is 35 years old, he is the record club appearance holder for Brackley Town. He's racked up over 350 appearances over his time here. And it is appearance number 34 across all competitions for him this season. So we restart with the goal kick that is sent over towards the far side of the ground, but is cut out by Barton. Nolan has to have a couple of different bites of the cherry, a couple of separate bites of the cherry to win that one. Barton slipping and sliding does well to contain possession of that ball, and is sent all the way back to Renshaw. Now here is Teal on the far side of the ground, having a little bit of space to jog forward. All the way back now to Renshaw, and you might have heard shouts from Jordan Richards here on the near side of the ground for Curzon Ashton, shouting Posher, Posher, and he launches the ball forward straight into the arms of Danny Lewis. The game just starting to slow down again a little bit, but with the way that this game has gone, it seems like it just could be a matter of time before the gears get switched up, the DRS gets used, and we start to take a real high-speed turn in this game. Trying to mount an attack through the middle of the ground, but not to be. Mann loses the ball out there. A little bit of coming together there with Connor DeMaio, I think, as well. Here now is Thomas. Deals well under pressure, and so does Barton. Jordan Richards, Poshar just elects the Route 1 option. And Piers Nolan there is trying to chase and put Lewis under pressure. He managed to get that one away. The arms go up for offside, but and Lovu certainly wasn't offside if he did reach it. Thankfully, he didn't. Yeah, he's going to be hooked away. Not necessarily for distance, though, for Curzon Ashton. And here is Connor Teal yet again inside the Curzon Ashton defensive half. As we are at 55 minutes gone, and it is still 0-0 between Curzon Ashton and Brackley Town here at the Tameside Stadium. Far side of the ground for Curzon, it is Wilson. Now here is the captain man in game number 37 across all competitions for the stalwart skipper. Here is Renshaw now for Curzon Ashton, not being pressed. Now the press does come from Wes York and does send that one long over towards the far side of the ground. Wilson heading on. De Mayo can't keep that one under control though. And now here is Lomas on the far side of the ground, darting forward with a little bit of time, a little bit of space, sends that ball in up towards Ndlovu and can't get the connection that he wanted on the penalty spot. Was darting in. It was a very, very well timed run and a great time cross to find him there as well. But he couldn't get the purchase on it that he was hoping for with the head, and it is fly on the byline and the advertising boards over to my left-hand side. And it's going to be a goal kick yet again for Curzon Ashton. And they're going to ask for a bit of a forward gathering. Everyone urged forwards now. Applause from the manager, Adam Lakeland, here on the home bench for the way that his team has played. And they will bring that one back for the foul there for Curzon Ashton. Connor Franklin was just a little bit too eager to try and become a backpack on Thomas. And so now it is a free kick that is taken very quickly, short as well from Thomas Mann with a good ball in to the box, but it was cut away. And now possibly a chance for a counter-attack from Brackley Town. It is Lau, and a foul is going to be committed. Just judged to have used his arms a bit too strongly there to try and blow past Joe Nolan. And the counter-attack comes to a grinding halt, which was, well, it was a good job as well because he had Ndlovu moving centrally as well. Now a free kick taken from far side to near side. Thomas heading down to Mann, looking for a tricky run. Tries the ball in, but that's cut away. Headed back in towards the box by Barton, over towards the Mayo, and it's going to be a throw-in instead for Curzon Ashton here on the near side of the ground, about 10 yards shy of the corner flag here on the near side of the ground. Thomas initially thinks about taking it, but he's going to leave it instead for Richards. And he comes short to De Mayo. Back to Richards. Thomas going to drive to the byline, manages to put a ball in up towards the penalty spot. Men fly, but absolutely no contact was made. Mann hooking the ball back in towards the box, and that's headed away first time, and then headed for a second time by Brackley, but it's still with Curzon Ashton at least for a moment. And then the out ball, trying to search for the far side of the ground to Lamas, was only going to reach the stands. And there's going to be a throw in here to Curzon Ashton on the far side of the ground, just on the edge of being in line with the centre circle. Here is Wilson now to De Mayo. Here is Mann driving back inside his own half. Switch now coming from Poshart all the way over to Richards. Here is Thomas, who cuts inside and through the middle of the ground. Now red shirts come in to help and support. He's muscled off the ball there, and they're coming away now through the middle of the ground here. Brackley Town. Here is Armson using Lau now to his left. Richards has a lot to do and a lot of coverage to work, trying to dart past him. Coming across to the byline, and Barton is there to cut across and cut out that cross ball. And there's going to be a corner here coming on the near side to Brackley Town. It was a very, very quick counter. It all happened very, very quickly. It was a good drive as well there through the middle of the ground by James Armson. And understand why he was named on Saturday in the National League North Team of the Week. And now a chance here for Brackley to pip the lead. Sent up towards the far post, but that's headed confidently away by Connor DeMaio. And now a chance possibly for a Curzon Ashton counter-attack. Man hooking a ball over for Nolan, who reads that ball all right, but Lau does, York, beg your pardon, does very, very well. Heavy touch though by the goalkeeper, and he manages to get that one out of his feet just in time. Up towards Ndlovu, who touches down very, very well. Lau as well there, trying to put a little bit of extra pressure on Connor Teal, but just yet again does very, very well, keeps a cool head. And now they look to try and build. Nolan, his touch was poor, and now here is Armson. Hum to Murrumbedzi, near side in the middle of the ground. Watched there by DeMaio, and a little bit too eager there was the youngster Connor DeMaio. On his return back to the Nash. And we're going to see a free kick here on the near side of the ground that James Armson stands over. At the moment there are no substitutes being readied. There are a couple of Brackley players on the sideline with the bibs on and doing a few loose warm-ups. But no one at the moment looking like is going to come on. Sent up towards the far post from the box. It was headed on, and Lovo was lurking. And then the throw out to try and release Richards was in front of him, and he had a lot of work to do. Now here comes York on the near side of the ground. Piers is with him, and Richards has now got back into position. Here is Armson, whose touch was loose, and now a chance possibly for Curzon Ashton to counter-attack. Here on the near side of the ground, DeMaio, man, darting forward to try and go through the middle of the ground. The ball wasn't a bad one, and then the pass back probably wasn't intended, but wasn't a bad one either, to Nolan on the edge, 20 yards out. Piers with a touch, trying to find some space. First shot was blocked just inside the box, and Curzon Ashton still retain possession here on the near side of the ball. And the near side of the ground, Thomas with the ball in towards Piers, who was up and high. Arms are outstretched by a couple of Curzon Ashton players. Don't know whether they were appealing for handball or a foul, but it's all going to result in a goal kick. Really dangerous counter-attacking chance, and well, we spoke earlier, didn't we? Luke is absolutely agonising at the moment in the chat. I can only imagine the feelings and the thoughts and the atmosphere around the Gateshead faithful at the moment. Of course, a reminder, as result would stand, Brackley Town would leapfrog Gateshead to the top of the National League North, but it would only be by a point. They need all three here tonight to be able to be in that top spot with any real certainty. Here is Nolan now for Curzon Ashton in the middle of the ground. Turns well, and now switching over to the far side. Here is Wilson continuing far side of the ground. There was a vital tackle in there, but and they've come away with it as well. Have Brackley Town on the far side of the ground, looking to try and send that ball through to Ndlovu. Plenty of blue shirts though back in defence, and Lau was certainly offside by a mile. And the referee will blow the whistle instead of just letting that one go through, as Ndlovu was also trying to chase. Referee just electing to call the halt on play, and yet again the Brackley attack breaks down. Starting to really struggle here now as the free kick gets sent out towards the central attacking area for Piers to try and latch onto. Touched on there. Piers with a chest down. Also looked like he was being held onto there, but the referee waves play on. Man, there's a lot of shirts around there. DeMaio going to launch from range, and that one is going to go for a goal kick. Surprisingly, I thought that was that caught the foot of one of the defenders there for Brackley Town, but the referee had the best angle on it. Like you say there, that Brackley are really starting to struggle with these counter-attacks. They're just starting to struggle, I think, in general. They just can't really seem to get that forward press and that forward momentum as we tick on in this game. We are coming up to the hour mark, and it is still 0-0 here between these two Titans. And it's rolled all the way through to Renshaw in goal. He's going to roll it all the way back out to Teal. 63 minutes played. Out to the far side now. Here is Wilson. DeMaio on the far side. And they're going to now come back and regroup. Man to Teal, who has been instrumental in this evening's game. Looking to try and send this ball long towards DeMaio now. Nolan was there on the recovery. And then Piers just in the wrong spot there. If he was in his regular central role, then I think he probably would have latched onto that. Now here is Lau darting in from the near side in towards the middle. Here now is the captain, Dean. Switching over to the far side, Lamas being pressed and watched there by Nolan, and it's enough of a press to urge them to go back to the goalkeeper, who's going to send it in the Lau direction. That's cut out first time by Richards, and we are going to see a throw-in here on the near side of the ground for Brackley Town. So we'll go around the grounds again. It looks like Chorley Town or Boston United have equalised against Chorley Town in the 66th minute. It is 1-1 there, and then all other scores remain the same across the National League North. And then in the Champions League, it's 2-1 to Liverpool in the 52nd minute, still 0-0 at the Etihad. And Lovu now is charging through the middle of the ground, looking to try go towards the far side of the ground. Half a stumble there from York, still with the ball though, and that's great defensive work there by Wilson to stop that attack and cut that one out. This is a real improvement, like you say, Luke, a real improvement over the past 2-3 games and 2-3 weeks. Let's see, Luke Marriott for Curzon Ashton has been sent to have a jog and have a warm-up. Perhaps that's what this game needs, just a little bit of an extra injection of youth and injection of pace. Hobson as well there is starting to get himself limber. So perhaps a little bit of a reshuffling of personnel is going to come as we enter the 65th minute. The throw-in is taken over towards the near post, bumbles around in the box, and Lovu goes down, and it is eventually claimed by Renshaw. Not too much of an appeal for anything untoward that happened in that box. It looked like that just a couple of stumbles and a couple of slips from everyone just trying to win the ball inside the 6-yard area. And Curzon Ashton are going to come away with the ball. Here is Barton now, driving through the middle of the ground, over towards the far side. Wilson coming inside to Mann. They might have to look for the switch here. Now here is Posher inside his defensive half. York was trying to come in and put Posher under pressure, but it's certainly a harder task, easier said than done. Here now is Renshaw, who's going to come towards the near side in the attacking half, but that one has cut out. Here now Thomas just pulling out of that headed duel. Here is Posher now for Curzon Ashton, coming back to Renshaw, who's going to go long up towards the far side of the ground, but the header is cut out there by Brackley. It's going to come all the way back to Posher. Here now is Richards. Thomas coming shorter for him. Now here's Thomas, who has been brought down there by Lau. Bit too eager to win the ball. And it is going to be a free kick here that Barton is going to take quickly. Here now is Teal, who does have a lot of space ahead of him if he's able to get onto the ball. And now eventually is going to come back with Posher. DeMaio, who's dropped quite deep. Here now is Thomas, who was cut across there by Murrumbedzi. And he has won the ball out there as well. Now Lau in battle with Richards. DeMaio flies into a tackle there. And it's going to be a free kick to come for Brackley Town in the middle of the defensive half for the visitors. Connor DeMaio, I can see there on the side, is starting to intensify his warm-up a little bit, start to do some sprints down this near touchline. So we might see a change, and it looks like the first change of the game, though, is going to be a Brackley Town change. So we will see who's going to make way, and who is going to be the man that is going to be coming on. And Lovu here, half a chance here on the other turn, and that's a fantastic save! Incredible save there by Renshaw on the turn, and then full stretch was Renshaw with his right hand, had to be sharp. Fantastic stop there from the experienced keeper, and it has been batted away for a corner here on the near side of the ground. gee, if Curzon Ashton has come away with a point, then that is certainly going to be a key moment as Renshaw comes out to punch away the goal kick, and then Mann has his legs taken out from him by Franklin going through the back of him, and Mann is going to take a couple of minutes here just to compose himself. Physio has been waved off and is told that she's not needed, so we won't have an appearance from Lucia so far this evening, which is can only be a good sign. And somehow 60 coming up to about 70 minutes gone, it is still Curzon Ashton nil, Brackley Town nil, as the goal kick is now sent, or the free kick I should say, is sent long from far side to near by Chris Renshaw, off of the head of Thomas behind him, and it is going to go out for a throw in. So 70 minutes gone, still 0-0. Big chances for both sides. No real opportunities so far in this second half for Curzon Ashton, though, to threaten Danny Lewis's goal. Throw in is at first intercepted by Curzon Ashton and then is won back. Now here is York trying to switch this and spread this play. Here is Ndlovu for Brackley Town. Teal has to keep his ground and watch well, and that goes straight across the face of goal. Ball has stayed in though for Brackley Town. Here now is Lau driving to the byline on the near side of the ground, pulled across. It is cut away by Richards, I think that was initially. But it is going to come back. Franklin now to the middle of the ground with Armson. Switching over to the far side. It's York being watched by Teal. He's got numbers to support him behind him. First time cross after the pass back. And Renshaw is going to watch this one all the way into the gloves and be happy with that one. It is going to be Janai Gordon that looks like the player is being readied and is going to come on, and I think it's going to be Matt Lau is going to be the one that is going to be brought off in the next stoppage. This is certainly one of the best performances of this past month for Curzon Ashton. And now the ball is just going to be sent out of play, whether deliberately or not, by the captain Dean. And we are now going to see that first change. Janai Gordon is going to come on, and Matt Lau is going to be the one who's going to make way. In fact, I actually tell a lie, they've changed their mind. It's Jordan Richards that's making his way off. So Janai Gordon, in his 9th appearance now for Brackley Town, he has already got himself a goal so far with Brackley. So DeMaio managing to keep that ball in there for Curzon Ashton. It could drop here as well. Nolan on the near side, just driving inside the box. He's being held though, coming up towards the byline, and it's been cut out there, the cross across there by Lamas, and it is going to be a corner ball here on the near side of the ground for Curzon Ashton. Is this going to be the opportunity? Is this going to be the chance for Curzon Ashton? With about 18 minutes plus stoppage time left to play, it is still somehow in this game Curzon Ashton nil, Brackley Town nil, and it looks like the referee is jogging over and asking for new balls again, please. These footballs seem to have a couple of flat spots, it seems, in this game tonight. I mean, at least it wasn't one of the a repeat of one of the last times that I was covering late night Tuesday night football here at the Tameside Stadium, where one of the floodlights decided that it didn't want to work, and someone had to go and run and put some money in the meter. So Richards with a corner over towards the far post, headed up and away by Brackley Town, and we're now going to see another corner, this time from the far side for Curzon Ashton. Need to commit some numbers to attacking, and we're going to see our first Curzon Ashton change coming. It looks like it's Dale Witham that is the man that's going to come on, and we are going to see that change now. So Dale Witham is going to be the one to come on. He gets rid of the Trachydax, and it is going to be the captain, Craig Mann, that is going to make way. In fact, actually, I beg your pardon, it's actually Craig DeMaio which is a bit of a shame, bit of a tough result for him. The youngster, he's put in a very, very good shift. DeMaio, and obviously had the one of the best chances of the game in the first half for Curzon Ashton after firing straight at Danny Lewis in the first half from close range. Richards going deep and towards the far post and going over the head of everybody, even the incoming Dale Witham, who was trying to get his first involvement into the game, couldn't get involved. And it is a goal kick for Danny Lewis and Brackley Town. So looking ahead here as well to this Saturday's games, Curzon Ashton at home here at the Tameside Stadium again. They will be hosting Boston United. Just a reminder, that game will not be covered live as I am away in New York City. As the ball gets hoofed into the stands. And then for Brackley Town, they are on the road again on Saturday. They take on York. As a throw-in is taken by Richards, was aimed towards Piers, but he can control it. Mann tried to win the second ball there as well against Murrumbedzi. Good touch there from Nolan after the tackle from Craig Mann. He just doesn't stop, does he, Craig Mann, the intrepid skipper. Here he is again. Here's Barton now being surrounded by two red shirts. Now here is Nolan looking to try and slide in Thomas, who's driven to the near side and near towards the byline. Now giving himself a little bit of space, and I think that cross took a little bit of a deflection from the Brackley man that was covering him, and now trying to build an attack. Sliding in there was Mann, and the ball angled in. Posher does well initially to get rid of that, and Renshaw hooks it all the way away. Over the head of Nolan though for Curzon Ashton, but Barton has plenty of time unmarked and uncontested to win that one. Witham elects to just send this one for distance. And it is going to be a throw in here to Brackley Town on the near side of the ground. 15 minutes left to play in this one. Still 0-0 here at the Tameside Stadium. And what has been a really, really entertaining game of football. One of the best performances of this winless stretch so far for Curzon Ashton, as Piers gets absolutely clattered there on the near side of the ground by Connor Franklin. I think that the Curzon Ashton players are and management staff are urging for a card, and the card is what they are going to get as well. Yellow card being given there to Connor Franklin. So the first card has been shown and has been given here. It is going to be to Connor Franklin after going well over the top of Tom Piers in the 76th minute. And now Richards here with a dangerous free kick opportunity. Sent in towards the middle of the box. Bodies fly. Posher is there to try and recover. Posher still ball alive, and it's headed away off the line. And darting in to try and win the ball back and retaining the possession is Nolan. Here is Richards now. Still on the near side of the ground. Nolan having to retreat a little bit. Mann trying to swing that ball back in towards the edge of the box, and it's hooked away first time. Mann was went through the back of it. Big appeal. Nothing being given. Witham though, and it is going to be brought back instead for the first foul on Scott Wilson. Late challenge and a late lunge. And we'll get another free kick from a similar distance, but the angle probably a bit kinder and a little bit more open, possibly to taking a shot, but it was a real melee in the 6-yard box there. Marcus Posher almost latching onto that. Dale Witham as well was charging in on the near post, or on the post that is nearest to my commentary position here. A possibility and a chance from these set pieces to keep some pressure up. Richards sending this one high over towards the far post, and everyone's going to leave it, including the goalkeeper, and he's going to go all the way out for a goal kick, which I think is probably one of the best results that can be asked there from Kevin Wilkin. I don't think he's content with his side's performance here this evening. They haven't scored plenty often. Their last large score line was 5-0 against Guiseley, and even then that was quite some time ago now. Renshaw sending the ball towards Dale Witham. Murrumbidgee goes for a ride over Witham. And now here on the near side of the ground, being hooked and kept in for Brackley. Bounces once over Lau, but it is kept alive. Here is Lau turning away from Barton. Lau's going to elect a shot. Ping pongs off of two Curzon players there. It was Barton and Richards there. And now a loose ball, which can't be latched onto, but now the second effort possibly. Pearce has a lot to do here if he's going to try and mount any meaningful attack. He's just going to wait for the cavalry to arrive. Here now is Man. Murrumbidgee goes in with a challenge, and it's going to come back to Witham. Now spread near side here for Richards. He's going to come inboard to Nolan. A little bit of space around for him. Here's Witham now on the near side of the ground. And ignores the overlap run for Thomas. Nolan tries to send that ball square along to the edge of the 18-yard box for Pearce, but in the cleared ball is just going to be sent back into the danger area by Posher. That's a great touch and not a bad turn either from Nolan. He's gotten away from his first initial marker. Have a lot to do here. Instead, then Thomas is going to take a shot, and that's going to thunder against the back of Murrumbidgee. And here comes another corner for Curzon Ashton on the near side of the ground with 10 minutes plus stoppage time to go. It is still 0-0. Gateshead fans everywhere are going to be pleading that someone can latch on to this stoppage. If it goes in, then I think that it will be virtual limbs all the way up in the heat. So standing over this corner on the near side of the ground is Jordan Richards for Curzon Ashton. There are a few men back for Curzon to defend any possible counter-attack. Gets swung in towards the far post. The first man was Witham, I think, that was got the touch on it, but it is cleared away. And it is only going to be covered and collected by Connor Teal. I think the captain there, Dean, went down in the midst of all that in the middle of the ground. But nothing being given, nothing being seen, and play continues. Here now is Richards on the near side of the ground trying to find Pearce, who touched it down okay, but couldn't turn his body to latch on. And it is going to roll into the hands and bounce to the hands of Danny Lewis, who will be very, very grateful. And they will restart now on the far side, aiming for the substitute here in Gordon. And he is going to win that ball as well, but he is closely marked by Teal, who has played really, really well. And he's given away a foul there, though, on the far side of the ground. Assistant referee was quick to wave the flag. And we're going to have a free kick on the far side of the ground, in line with the 6-yard box. As the second substitute and a second change is about to be readied for Brackley Town. Whether we're going to see this change being made in time for this free kick, I'm not sure. Chorley, by the way, have retaken the lead against Boston United in the 83rd minute. It's 2-1 there. Kettering Town are still winning 2-0 against York City. Kidderminster are trailing at home against Alfreton Town 1-0. And Spennymoor are trailing against Bradford 2-0. So the change is not going to be made in time for this free kick, which is delivered up towards the penalty spot. Flying high was a red shirt. Gordon was there looking at the back post as well. And cutting across was with them to ensure that that stayed out. And we are going to get another set piece for corner, this time from the near side of the ground. It is Tariq Yusuf. That is the man that is being readied and prepared here for Brackley, a youngster who's got a really, really impressive future ahead of him. It'll be appearance number 25 when he makes his way on. Corner sent from the near side, headed down by the far post, and Wendo squared off the line by Richards. Fair challenge, and no. In fact, it's not going to be. And players from both teams absolutely swarming him. I thought from my angle he actually got the ball. But the reaction of the players and the reaction of the referee was absolutely telling. I heard the thud, but I thought that it was purely just ball to ball. Physio has undoubtedly been waved on. It's Scott Wilson there that was the one who was brought in, and it's Murrumbidgee that was the one who went into the challenge. Everybody has been waved away and cleared away, so Wilson gets some treatment, and Michael Crushen, the referee, who has a big decision to make. And it is a yellow card for Shep Murrumbidgee. Probably expected. Realistically, it was a fierce challenge that went in between Wilson and Murrumbidgee inside their own penalty area, and Scott Wilson has been the one that's come off the worst off, just dove in and not won the ball whatsoever. And as a result of it, Shep Murrumbidgee has been shown the yellow card. We will now see the second change. It is Tariq Youssef coming on, and Wes York is the man that is making way.
Number 16, Tariq Youssef, replacing number 10, Wes York.
So Wilson is back on his feet. And I think he's still asking the question to the referee about whether that colour of that card should have been the same as the Brackley Town shirt. But nevertheless, we are going to restart play. There's 7 minutes plus stoppage time left to play here at the Tameside Stadium. We are somehow still deadlocked at 0-0. Here is Piers now for Curzon Ashton. Tries the innovative heel flicking pass back to Witham, but it's sent long and high up into the Curzon sky for Brackley. Here is Murrumbidgee, who's just picked up that yellow card. Here is Gordon, now being switched over towards the far side of the ground. Through Armson. Being watched here by Wilson, who is looking like he's moving okay after him being challenged. Darting inside the box. That's a great leg in there and a great challenge by Wilson. And the ball is sent long down the line by Curzon Ashton. It's going to be a throw on the far side of the ground for Brackley Town. He's still 0-0, and the throw-in is going to be taken just inside the attacking half for Brackley. Ball lofted forward over towards the far side for Gordon, being covered by Teal, who yet again is in with a vital challenge. And we are going to get another corner on the far side of the ground. Lewis now chipping in, hoping for a Brackley winner in these dying minutes. We are 5 minutes plus stoppage left to go. No other changes at the moment being fully readied and fully prepared for Curzon Ashton yet. But there are numbers and are reinforcements if need be. Corner is swung in. Posher was the first hand on it way for Curzon Ashton, but it is going to come back on the far side of the ground. Armson, Piers has a lot to do, slides in and misses his challenge. Here is Armson still far side, just trying to dart in and make a little bit of space for himself. Armson, Thomas does very, very well for himself. And it is going to be another corner ball here to come on the far side of the ground from Brackley Town. It is all hands on deck defensively as the rain begins to resume now. Starts to pour down yet again. Corner, swung in, near post, diving was Armison to try and flick that header on, but it still lashes around inside the box. It's now made its way out. Here is Lau on the near side of the ground. Two men try and come over for Curzon Ashton to try and defend. Here it's headed over towards the far side of the box now. Armison's going to try, and nowhere near the target. A hit and hope to try and at least test Renshaw between the sticks, who has answered absolutely every question that has been asked of him tonight. And with the rain starting to pour down, I think maybe that the keeper could have lost that one in the mist. But the ball has to be on target first for that, so we are still 0-0 as the clock continues to tick down. And for Brackley, this is obviously they won the big 6-pointer against Gateshead on Saturday. This was really the culmination of that. Headed backwards, it was putting his goalkeeper there in a little bit of danger there. And slipping, I think, a little bit there. I think that was Connor Franklin there. It was the one that headed the ball backwards. Nolan was very, very keen, very eager to try and chase in. Now hanging around in the middle of the ground. Here is Nolan off of the interception of Armison. Armison's reclaimed the ball now. Here is in Lovo on the far side, being marked by Wilson, who has put in a real stellar shift over in the far side of the ground there at left back. Here now is Armison, and caught late there by Mann. It's a clumsy challenge. And it is going to be another set piece, another stoppage, and a free kick to come from Brackley Town over on the far side of the ground. They are about 25 yards out from goal. Man of the match for Curzon so far tonight. Definitely, I think, in my book, has to be Connor Teal. He has put in an incredible performance at the back there. Been very, very calm under the pressure and with the ball, trying to drive forward as well from centre back. But he's got more work to do here, as this free kick is going to get lofted in. Witham is the one that was out with the header in the middle of the box, but it's fallen all right for Brackley. Two blue shirts across to cut off the initial ball in, and then Witham hooking the ball just for distance. Brackley are going to be the ones in to try and chase that one with Armisen. Mann was there as well to try and put Armisen under a little bit of pressure, and it's now on the far side of the ground for Brackley. They're going to try and switch to near side, but it just hangs up there in the middle of the ground, and now here is Barton for Curzon Ashton, trying to go for the far side. Thomas just holding the ball up a little bit. Wilson is caught extremely late there after getting rid of that ball, and I have a funny feeling we are going to see our third yellow card of the game. It's Janai Gordon that was the one that flew in, and there it is, confirmation. Yellow card is shown. So 3 minutes of added time has been indicated by the digital board. I'm not 100% sure of attendance for you tonight, Crozza, but I'd have to say probably around 200 odd. 250. It's not a bad showing here tonight, and they've been treated to a really, really good game here tonight, and it is still not over. It is sent long by Renshaw from the free kick, but everyone's going to leave that one alone. And it is going to run out for a goal kick for Brackley Town. Certainly a striker is needed here, I think, Byton for Curzon. They need that shot, and they need that little bit of extra forward spark. Now being sent long here by Lewis. Down the ground. Target was Nlovu, but Barton does well. Now Piers just having the ball held up underneath his feet. And now being pressed, and there could be a chance here on the counter-attack. Craig Mann, he's got Nolan on the right-hand side of him. Here's him as well. Angles tight. Mann shoots. It's saved away and then cleared away. Takatara asking from Nolan for a corner kick on the near side. It broke really quickly. It was a lovely little ball, dainty little ball from Mann to Joel Nolan on the near side. That the angle was very, very tight and difficult for him. He did well to force the save from Lewis. And then the second time of asking almost the half shot when he was on the ground was seen out by James Armisen. And we are now going to see a Curzon Ashton change. And he's got the wrong shirt on there as the big unit Hobson. He was trying to cosplay there as young Luke Mariette. So the big man Craig Hobson is going to make his way on, and Piers is going to make way. So it is a like-for-like change up front, as we have a corner here from the near side of the ground to come that is going to be swung in or sent in by Jordan Lewis. The big unit, Craig Hobson, jogs his way into the penalty area. Is there a late twist in this tale? Richards, high fly, Hobson completely missed the ball as well, and now it's over on the far side of the ground. Yusuf is there into chase, and is there one final chapter, one final little thorn in what is otherwise a beautiful dainty rose in this game. Here is Nlovu being watched and wrestled with by Nolan. Mann is there into Hevel as well, and then Richards comes in with a fantastic sliding challenge to cut that attack out, but it is still in the attacking half here for Brackley. Throwing to come about 20 yards out from goal. There are only moments left here for Brackley to either find a winner or for Curzon Ashton to hold on and to win a very, very hard-fought point at home here on this Tuesday night. It is Connor Franklin for Brackley Town that is lining up to send this long throw in to the box. Every single red shirt committed forward apart from the goalkeeper. Goes over towards the near post, and a goal kick is given by the referee. It was sent into the near post. There was 3 shirts all around it, and it was judged that the last touch on it was that of a Brackley player, and that very well might be the final action of this game. It has been a fantastic performance here tonight by Curzon Ashton. Man of the match for me tonight would definitely have to be Connor Teal as it stands, but the game still not over yet. Gordon with a flick back to Yusuf here on the near side. They're still trying to push for the winner here. Brackley, and Lovu just loses his footing, but reclaims it well. Posher gets turned initially, but then cleared away. And thumped against the away bench by Richards. And now it is going to be thrown in. Referee is going to make sure that that is spotted at the right place. It's Connor Franklin again now for Brackley Town. The whistle has got to be moments away. Franklin sending this ball high up into the forward 50, and it's over! Final whistle has been blown. It is a fantastic performance by the home side. Curzon Ashton have dug their heels in and have taken a point and have roared the forward and promotion party and the title winning hopes in the party for Brackley Town. They had some good chances, did the visitors. So did Curzon Ashton to actually win this game. The best fell to Connor DeMaio at the first half, who fired straight down the throat of Danny Lewis in the first half from 8 yards out. But it's going to end Curzon Ashton 0, Brackley Town 0. Thank you all so much for joining me here tonight. I have been Ben Fitzpatrick. A reminder, thank you so much, Luke, for the 4 bits. Thank you. I really appreciate that on the way down, on the way out. Reminder that there will be no Curzon Ashton commentary and no Curzon Ashton shows in the next couple of weeks, as I'm away on New York City. But for those who are interested and want to continue and stick around the channel,
New York.
I will do. Thank you so much, my mate. Thank you. For those who want to stick around and come around as well, I'll be live here on Twitch tomorrow morning from 11 o'clock, continuing playing through the brand new Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga game. What a game. What a night. I wish all of you a happy night, a safe night, safe travels if you are travelling at all. It is finished here at the Tameside Stadium. Curzon Ashton 0, Brackley Town 0. Good night, everyone.